Okay, well, so how do you trap an alien? Let me make it more interesting. So how do you trap an alien while wearing your cowboy hat? Now, I'm going to disappoint you right here by telling you I know nothing about aliens, okay? I'm not an alien specialist. I've never met one. But before we move forward with our talk, I'm going to do a show of hands. Are there any aliens in the house tonight? Okay, we got a couple. Good, a few more. So, well, and I'm going to have a confession too, and my kids are sitting in the front row, and they're going to be scared when I tell them that I was once an alien. So I was a legal alien, and then I become a legal resident alien, and then one day I got a letter in the mail from INS, which is Immigration and Naturalization Services, so many of you may not know, telling me, congratulations, you're not an alien resident anymore, now you're the citizen of the United States of America. That was one of the most amazing moments of my life after the birth of my children. But many of you have not gone through the immigration process. This is the lingo that we kind of use. But anyways, so with a computer glitch, I'm pretty sure happened because of that way, an email invitation to speak in front of your audience and TED Talk came to my inbox. When I opened that, I was really amazed. I said, wow, this is great. I need to come up with an idea which is worth spreading. So I did what I normally do anytime I face with challenges. I called upon my trusted group of advisors and my children, we sat around the dining table. That's how we solved most of the world's problem. And I said to them, you guys need to give me an idea that's worth spreading, and then I will spread it. So we went around. I said, okay, tell me. So one of my daughters said, don't wear a tie. I said, okay, point taken. The second one said, Dad, don't be late. And that's the reason I've been sitting here since 3 in the afternoon, because I'm always late. And last but not least, the youngest group, my nephew and my son, said, why don't you talk about the aliens? And don't forget your cowboy hat. Said, you got it. Okay, let's do it. So I'm going to take you all back in time, okay? The year is 1977, and the day is September 5th. NASA decides to launch a spacecraft named Voyager 1 into the space. The only cargo on the spacecraft was a bunch of musical records, okay? And the compilation was done by an American astronomer and physicist, Carl Sagan. Now, this musical record was supposed to last 1 billion years. It contained music from many parts of the world. It contained greetings in 59 different languages. I didn't know there were 59 languages. And it also contained the call of the whale sound, the sound of the human heartbeat, and the sound of a human kiss. Now, I think if NASA would have just taken a filibuster recording from the US Senate or House and sent it to space, and an alien life form would have listened to it, they would have really said, gosh, these human forms really need some serious help, and they would have come down to help us. But they were happy with the musical recordings. Now, one of the many purposes of the Voyager 1 was to maybe come across an extraterrestrial life form, an alien form, and maybe present the human life form on Earth as we see it. Now, the Voyager 1 floated for the next 30 or 40 years or so. And very recently, up until 1990s, when Voyager 1 was about to exit the Earth atmosphere, it's actually, and that's about 38,000 miles per hour, and it took a photograph, which was the only photograph taken from that far of a distance, which is about 4 billion miles away of Earth. So it took the photograph of our Earth from a very far distance, and to everybody's surprise, our Earth looked like a pale blue dot, which was described as this photograph, and is called the pale blue dot by Carl Sagan again. Now, among many people, when they saw this photograph, including Carl Sagan, who's the astronomer, they were very disappointed. They were extremely disappointed because of a very humbling experience. we didn't look much different from many of the thousands of the stars around us. We all looked the same. So if you were one of the alien forms sitting on any other planet, looking down on this Earth, you would be not excited. You know, why would you undertake that journey to go from your planet to that pale blue dot, which almost looks like a speck of dust? Now, when Carl Sagan looked at this, he was not only disappointed, he actually took it to another level. He said, you know what? All us human beings who live on this planet, which he kept referring to the pale blue dot, we really don't mean much. We come here, we go, and we become a part of dust. You know, we are a speck of dust in this universe because we don't look any different when we look at each other from far away. Now, when I look at it, I kind of disagreed when I looked at this picture. It was humbling for sure, but it wasn't disappointing. Because, you know, this pale blue dot is actually home. This is Earth, where I live, you all live. My kids were born here. Everyone that I've ever loved lived on this pale blue dot. You know, anyone that I've ever known or I will ever know will live here, you know, on this very planet. So it's got to be more than just a pale blue dot. It's got to be more than a place. There's something different to define this. I was very perplexed, and I was very kind of moving back and forth, trying to understand the value of my being and the value of the presence of this speck of dust in the universe, which Voyager 1 took a photograph of. Well, that's when this gentleman came to my rescue. And you guessed it right? Do you know who he is? Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer is a 14th century English poet who's also infamously known as the father of English. And many centuries ago, he coined a question for all of us, which centuries later is still affecting us. We still haven't really understood it. And he asked us, with life being so short, why does it take so long for us to learn the art of living? And that's when I've come, you know what? This is it. That truly answers my question about the pale blue dot. What does it mean? It's not about the place we live, but it's about this journey that we take on this pale blue dot, on the speck of dust. This journey starts from the time we are born till the time we die, which is death. Now, death may be the ultimate truth in the universe, but it's not about death. I think our existence on this planet is about life. It's about this journey that we undertake. And it's about this message, which is the art of living. And then I questioned myself. I said, what is the art of living? If I'm going to take this journey only once, and once for sure, and I'm not going to have any retakes, and I'm not going to have any redos, and no one ever has come back from wherever they go, you know, to say, gosh, I didn't do it right the first time, and I'm here for a redo. I got to do it right. So how do I do it right? Well, I got to learn the art. I got to learn the art to live this life on this pale blue dot. Now, this art of living, as we question it, may be very different for different people. Now, many of us learn it. Some of us learned earlier in our lives, and some of us learn it later in our lives. But sadly, many of us may never learn this art at all. When I question myself to really understand what truly is the art of my life, of this journey that I will only take once from my birth to death on this universe, what does it mean? What does this art mean to me? But to me, and maybe different for all of you, to me the art of living is actually giving. It's giving my time, my efforts, my ideas, my thoughts and my resources, and if I can, my capital, for one purpose. And one purpose only. And the purpose for that, for me, is to make a difference in the world around us, or make a difference in the world that I live in. Now, I may not be able to make a difference around this pale blue dot that Carl Sagan was so humbled and disappointed with, but I can surely make a difference around my own pale blue dot. Now, I'm living on this pale blue dot that belongs to me, and you all have your own. So we all can learn the art and make a difference around your own pale blue dot by learning the art. And I'm pretty convinced that if you all learn this art of this life, which will only happen for once, and we teach our kids and the generations that come after us, then for sure, one day, maybe one day, this pale blue dot may not look like this. It might look like this, a big giant halo around us, okay? So if you are an alien form who's living in one of those planets, and now you see Earth, you look at this Earth, and you see this big giant halo, you will be attracted to us, okay? And you will probably make a trip to come and visit us. And that might be very worthwhile, because now we have something to teach you or to learn together, which is how to live our life and how to make a difference. Now, I only have one message, and which is, this life is not a dress rehearsal. I'm only going to be here once, and you're going to be doing it only once. So we might as well learn this art, and we might as well learn this art to make a difference and create this giant halo around us. And if all of us are able to do that, that's our pale blue dot's going to look like. So thank you.